that suspect. He's still moving. That is a plus. They are definitely going to.
SNAP benefits are pausing for millions of Americans on November 1st due to the government shutdown. And some recipients are contemplating resorting to theft to feed themselves and their.
I don't like where it's going. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's going to lead people into desperation. I know there is this common belief amongst people of conservative values, which I completely understand, that you got to get off your butt and do what you need to do in order to feed your family and to do what is best for you. Now, look, that would be easy for me to say as somebody who may not be in that current position right now, who does not need EBT stamps or anything of that sort, right? But for people that do, you got to understand that these people are going to act desperately in desperate times. Let's see what this clip is talking about.
Their families. Take a look at what some people are saying on social media.
I will be at mother Walmart with my steel toes on and my mother helmet, and I dare a try to stop me from walking out that store with my groceries. Baby, I'm 250 pounds solid.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you why this is a serious problem right now, right? Because like I told you, it's going to create a very unsafe world. And if you want to live in that kind of world, then, well, I don't think we have a choice, right? I mean, I was going to say, if you want to live in that kind of world, that's, at your own bargain. But we are living in this together collectively, which is something you have to understand as an individualist, and something that I can resonate with. Accountability, self-reliance, also understanding your own self-determination, right? Not needing any handouts from anybody or relying on government assistance. Now, these are values that I can understand, because in the longer term, these are the consequences, right? The consequences of this nature falls into the fact that, hey, look, we are all in this together, right? Not be a recipient of an EBT or a food stamp, but somebody else is, and the fact that they're not going to get it, they may see individuals like myself or anybody out there that has anything going on as a potential target. Right? Okay, let's get at this person because they have such and such. Let's get at this grocery store because the security is just not up to par. But on any regard, let's continue on. Because honestly, the security would not be up to par, considering the fact that, hey, you know what? This is not worth it. Right? You're fighting people. And then on top of that, look, obviously the people that are featured in this right now seem like real harmless and all of that, right? But what if you're dealing with somebody who is a lot more dangerous, right? Somebody who is a lot more cunning, a lot more ruthless. And then on top of that, somebody that is willing to commit the ultimate sin of all. But on any regard, let's continue on.
You are that Walmart employee who snitched on that single mother of 5 for simply trying to feed her kids?
So at this point right now, what they are trying to do is create emotional fallacies. But look, I get it. What do you do if you are a single mother, right? Whether it was her choice or whether she was widowed or what, that nothing to do with that, right? But on any regard, desperate times call for desperate measures. And right now, she's using the emotional fallacy saying, if you are a worker of Walmart, look the other way. I don't blame her. I don't blame the Walmart employee that would pretend they didn't see anything, right? I don't blame them. You yourself, as a Walmart employee, you make minimum wage. On top of that, there's not a lot of benefits. On top of that, the hours are long. It feels like you are a slave, pretty much, to this corporation. So there's not a lot of incentives to feel like, you know what, my life is worth risking for this job. And I'm gonna predict there's gonna be a lot of that going on too, right? Just a lot of Walmart employees looking the other way. But there are those very similar to that of this lady that Dana White hired, right? Who worked at Best Buy in Hawaii. Well, let me just show you right.
To serve as an inspiration. It was a split-second decision that would end up changing her life forever. Back in December, Iea Summer Tapasa, while working at Best Buy in central Oahu, prevented a man from alleged theft, repeatedly blocking his attempt to flee the store with an item, which ultimately, per company policy, got her terminated.
Yeah, so that's the twist behind all of this, right? And that is the reason why she got hired by Dana White, because Best Buy fired her. You want to know why they fired her? Because it's a safety. It's not your job to do that. You're not a police officer. You're not that, you know, some of us need police officers, but you know what I mean, right? You're not a trained security guard. You're not a military person. Well, you could say maybe she grew up with played football, being that she is an islander. Look, I know that this ends in a positive story. I know this ends where she becomes the hero. I know this ends where she ends up with a job with Dana White, and still till this day she works for UFC security, but she got fired for a reason. Okay, now obviously here comes Uncle Dana, okay, with the save, because he ideologically stands with her values. What was her value when she came in here and helped Best Buy? Her value was, I'm going to put my body on the line for a corporation. I want you to understand that. I'm going to put my body on the line for a corporation.
But in the days following, found herself under a worldwide spotlight, which casted a shadow of support.
Everyone pretty much had so much positivity towards what I did and why I did it. There was so much understanding even from the Best Buy managers, which really helped me a lot. I'm happy that I did it, not because of the attention, but because at that time when Hawaii was going through the purse snatching and the people going through houses and robbing people, by doing that one simple thing, stopping this dude, it helped my island get a little bit safer, and I'm proud of myself.
Now, among the many that celebrated her strength and character
was, of course, Dana White. Okay, and then here comes Uncle Dana to the rescue. So this is logical reasoning behind her motivation. That's completely understandable. He had an ideological motivation, was that there were a lot of robbings, a lot of natural disasters that are going on in her island. By the way, shout out to Jamaica right now. May Allah bless Jamaica and all the strife and all the things that are going on down there in this current moment of time as this video is being made. But yes, here comes Uncle Dana to the rescue, saying that, hey, you know what? I ideologically agree with you, even though it is for different reasons. Her reason is more for nationalistic, being that she's proud of Hawaii. There's a nationalistic, ethnocentric, sense of civil responsibility to that. But at the same time, Dana White also sees that as a value because it is something that he can use for his corporation. But let me tell you right now, it is not worth risking your life for a corporation by any means, right? And that is the reason why she got fired from Best Buy. But because of Dana White's ideological leanings, he decided to give her a shot. And that is the, well, not the moral of the story, but at least the cherry on top story at hand.
Character was UFC president Dana White, who a month later flew Summer to Las Vegas, giving her VIP treatment at the Conor McGregor Cowboy Cerrone bout.
Yo, this is Summer. Summer is Cowboy.
While even giving her
Okay, so 2020, Donald 20.
For the job to serve as security at the highly anticipated.
And look at Donald Cerrone. He was emulating what she did to the would-be robber. He's like, yeah, so you did it like this, huh? Damn.
Weigh-ins.
That weekend was probably one of the best weekends of my life. Uncle Dana, literally.
And there's Connor right there.
From the moment I stepped onto
Uncle
the plane, from the moment I stepped off of that
There it
plane
is.
coming home, it was just super amazing. Everything was perfect.
And when the event was over, the UFC's offer wasn't, as Summer was extended a full-time job with the company, which she recently accepted as UFC corporate office security in Las Vegas.
It's been amazing. Everyone, you know, they're super, super nice. Fighters, I had a couple fighters take pictures with me, like John Jones. Wow, it's been pretty amazing since I've been here.
Now, Summer's long-term goal is the...
Listen, who one of y'all chuckled really hard when you heard John Jones, right? You were like, oh, dear Lord. Oh, no, John Jones. All right.
ladder with the company, but also while taking her position as an inspiration very seriously, responding to countless messages from people around the world that found motivation in her moxie, including one in particular.
A mother reached out to me and she said, my daughter is big and built beautifully just like you. She keeps asking me, I'm sorry. Every time I think about this message, I always get a little emotional because that was me. She's wondering if she can be a great person just like me, and it literally brought me to tears. Because as a kid, that was me. That was me asking, how come I'm built like this? How come I'm so big? So being a big girl taught me to toughen up, taught me to have thick skin, especially with all the bullying going around. I didn't stand for it. That wasn't me. That's how I am. That made me super.
All right. So, man, yeah, that's the Samoans and that I'm you know, kind of, you know, an understanding of, you know, of that experience being around them. But yeah, that's how a lot of Islanders grew up. They had to grow up tough. They had to grow up fighting. Obviously, a lot of them, not that, you know, I'm trying to promote this in any kind of way. It's just a matter of fact, bang, banging, all of that. It's just, you know, part of, you know, their history, at least within living in the United States. Even in Australia, they're really no different than that, right? They, you know, got Samoan and Tongan hoods out in Australia and New Zealand, just like they got out here in California. But yeah, man, that security guard, I didn't want to get too elaborative into her life. Obviously, you got a little emotional there. But yes, that is virtually some of the experiences of different Islanders, Polynesians, Tongans, and Samoans. Shout out to all of y'all. But on any regard, going back to this topic at hand, right? Look, this is not good. This is not good whatsoever, right? All these threats that are coming in terms of, you know, the robberies that are going to happen based on people acting out of, you know, out of desperation. It is not good whatsoever. But let's get back to what these people are saying they are going to do as a result of this government shutdown and not being able to get their EBT. So, all right, let's get to this.
Mind your business.
Social media's got a bunch of mixed reactions. Some worried, some angry, some trying to cope, but not everyone is thinking about breaking the law. Many people are actually sharing creative ways to stretch their dollars, like affordable recipes using items from dollar stores.
Oh, there you go. So there is a bit of you know, some positivity there, right? There are people out there that are saying, hey, you know what? There's better ways to do this. There's ways where you can stretch your money. Look, I get it. It's It's the only thing that you can do right now, right? But at least there are some positive solutions out there rather than just going out there and committing crimes just for the sake of survival. Not necessarily where I would want America's society to be, but it is where we're at in the government
Even
shutdown.
rumors that Walmart was going to close down for a day on November 1st, but a spokesperson quickly cleared the air on that one. So how many people is this affecting? Well, according to the USDA, nearly 42 million people relied on SNAP benefits just in the month of May. That's about 12% of Americans. Now, the Trump administration's refusal to use emergency funds to keep benefits flowing has sparked major backlash. In Arizona, Governor Katie Hobbs called the move appalling, noting over 923,000 residents could be affected. She and Senators Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego are pushing for the $6 billion contingency fund to be released. In Massachusetts, Governor Maura Healey warned that about 1 million residents could lose access to food benefits starting November 1st, blaming federal inaction. Now, this pause affects both red and blue states, including Texas, Oklahoma, California, and New York, with officials issuing warnings even before the USDA memo became public. Because of this, states are stepping up with their own solutions. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz directed $4 million in emergency funding for food shelves across the state. Virginia declared a state emergency to allow possible use of state funds. Louisiana is prioritizing food assistance using state resources. California is deploying the National Guard to assist food banks, though it's not clear if state funds are directly replacing SNAP. But the USDA says it can't use contingency funds for November SNAP payments because those funds are legally reserved for emergencies like natural disasters. They say that spending them now would be illegal. But the pause due to the government shutdown isn't going to be the only thing affecting SNAP. So head to part 2 for more. SNAP benefits are pausing for millions of Americans on November 1st due to the government shutdown, and some recipients are contemplating resorting to theft to feed themselves and their families. Take a look at what some people are saying on social media.
I will be at Walmart with my steel toes on and my
Appalling, absolutely appalling, right? That many people have to resort to that. But enough about that. Let's get to some more positive news. Well, at least a lot more positive than this. Not so positive for Tom Aspinall. Obviously, the doctor has confirmed that Tom Aspinall's eye is healthy. Okay, now I could show you some videos. I could show you some. He has that already on the internet right now. I just want to finish off the last 2 minutes of this video and say that, you know what? This was an executive decision by Tom Aspinall. And like executive decisions being made in corporations and big products, that is exactly what Tom Aspinall did for the brand of Tom Aspinall. Now, why did he do that? Well, number one, you got to understand, right? Being a world champion is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And due to that once-in-a-lifetime experience, you're not always going to be paid the same way that you are as a non-champion. For example, Demetrius Johnson, when he was world champion, he got paid, in his own words, $385,000, right? When he lost the championship, he got shot back down to 125. That is a huge, huge discrepancy. If Tom Aspinall was not champion, he would not be making the type of money that he's making right now. And in fact, he even wants more money. In fact, Tom Aspinall is working in the best interest for Tom Aspinall and for the best business practices in the product known as Tom Aspinall. In other words, that is the reason why Dana White came out of the press conference extremely angry at Tom Aspinall, or at least showing some sort of resentment towards Tom Aspinall due to the fact that he wants to go and fight for another organization or fight for another sport just to make a little bit more money. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you this. In this business, you got to work for yourself and forget about what the fans are doing. And you know what? At least Tom Aspinall really did quit. Because why else would he make this business decision is in the best interest of himself and the best decision to make for Tom Aspinall at the time where he was getting beat up, at the time where he was slowing down as the fight was progressing into the second round. He made a business decision that I can't see. I can see enough to fight, but why continue when I can come back and fight another day and fight at a better version of myself, maybe even with better stand-up, better Muay Thai, better understanding of range and distance, and takedown control. Takedown control time and also timing. Takedown timing, right? Because that's what George St. Pierre used to do in order to take down a lot of his top strikers as their challengers and title contenders that was in his way. He used timing to take them down. That's what Tom Aspinall needed to take this fight to the ground, to show that he is a superior grappler and submission artist. But first, you got to get them to the ground. He wasn't able to do that. There was a lot of desperation going on into that fight. So the fact that his doctor, or this doctor in the UAE who has absolutely no stake in the game, doesn't even understand. I believe it was one of the nurses or one of the doctors or one of the physicians that was there present. There was two of them, a male and a female, and in the female had no idea who he was or the sport, which tells you the non-biasness that comes with the analysis of Tom Aspinall's eye, which is that he was fine, he was ready to go, but by the end of the day, Tom, there is to it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, inshallah.
MMA needs, if you want to find predictions, news, and everything that deals with MMA, shout outs to Kyrie Abu El-Kheer MMA, Sacramento, California, represent.
That's right, Kyrie. I appreciate you, my nigga. You came in here, you was talking that shit. That's right, bro. Much love, Flo. I appreciate you for always stepping in, bro. Be safe out there. Man, my nigga Kyrie, my man Kyrie came through. He started talking that shit. Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing. That nigga will whoop your fucking ass. You will think that nigga's all squared up and all that type of shit. Nigga come through and beat your fucking ass. Like, man, fuck you up. You will never see it coming. So for those of y'all